Hey, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Chris. We're the hosts of True Believers, a comic book podcast, our weekly show about all things comics.
Welcome to episode 27 of True Believers. Picking up where we left off last week, we read Something is Killing the Children, volumes 3 and 4 this week, titled A Game of Nowhere and Me and My Monster. This is all written by James Tynion IV. Illustrated by Werther Deladera. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Colorist Miguel Muerto, and letterer and world design.
Not all monsters hide in the dark. Archer's Peak is in lockdown as Erica Slaughter has lost control of the situation and news of the killings has spread outside the town. But as the House of Slaughter arrives to clean up the situation by any means necessary, Erica will find that the true threat to those around her isn't who or what she ever expected. And the cost of saving the day may be too high for anyone to pay. So,
beautiful.
Volumes 3 and 4.
Volumes 3 and 4. Yeah, both of these were still so good. Like, it didn't slow down on like how good it was. You know what I mean?
No, no, they're completely insane. First of all, it did not at all slow down. It sped up because this writer believes in a cliffhanger. Not this time though, because this was the end of the Archer's Peak saga and A Game of Nowhere. And everything that happened in there was insane. Okay, so when we pick up volume 3, where we at? The House of Slaughter has arrived.
They arrived at the school where everybody was like in the gymnasium hiding from the monsters, it was just crazy. Like, I don't even know what else to say. It's crazy. Like, these people are insane, right?
First of all, they're in a gym, cowering, terrified because monsters are rampaging through their town. These terrifying people who look like supervillains with their white masks on and with teeth. They tell them that they're like, okay, you guys need to all stand over here if this, stand over here if that, give us your cell phones. And so it's giving Men in Black, but menacing.
But scary, yeah.
It's horrifying. And meanwhile, Aaron Slaughter is dead, picked apart by the monsters, and Erica Slaughter and James are out on the run trying to find oh girl, they've got her now. Theon. So with all the talk about how we need to commit people's names to memory, how was hers the one that I was like,
this was the end of the saga. It's okay if we forgot her, I think. But
yeah, she's not coming back. She didn't die. But
yeah, House of Slaughter, it's like you said last time, they found that like it was online and everything, that people were getting ripped apart because people were recording a child getting ripped apart, which I don't know, but they were putting on Facebook and stuff. So House of Slaughter's like, okay, now we have to go stop this. We got to clean it up. So they show up to this small town just to be menacing and terrifying. Like,
and then while they're doing all this, they're led by Cecilia, who is the white blonde lady that we like. I don't mean that she's white and blonde. Most blondes are white. I mean that her hair is literally white blonde.
Yeah, and first of all, she's a bad bitch, but also fuck her.
She dresses like Emma Frost in the most scary way possible.
She's terrifying.
And we find out the true purpose of the House of Slaughter is not just to kill monsters, it's also to contain the situation and to stop the masses from learning of the existence of monsters by any means necessary. So they're planning to kill all of Archer's Peak. Yeah,
that's what they show up for, because we learn there's a guy in charge of House of Slaughter. His name is the Dragon.
The old dragon.
The Dragon, yeah. And then we learned that Cecilia is the leader of the White Masks, which you don't figure out till later what that even means. We just know
that's volume 4.
Yeah.
You just know, I don't want to be there when they're there.
That's all you know, is that these people are scary and they come to kill you, because that's how they clean up. And if a kid, remember, because they said something in volume 3, like if a kid isn't gonna be recruited, then they just kill the kid too, because they're like, we can't let that get out.
And when Erica Slaughter is literally yelling, she's yelling to them. She's like, you don't know how many. She's like, you guys aren't out there out in the field with me. You don't know how it feels to have a kid look at you like you're their savior, and then to look in their eyes when they realize that you're not here to save them.
Yeah, this is heavy stuff that you're reading. Like, it is insane. Like, I don't even know the other word for it. It's just insane.
And then once again, we are reminded that something is killing these children. They are dying. And then Erica said there are more monster attacks like in the United States every year than you would ever think, which is horrifying.
It just
Every
makes you
time I read
think,
some,
like, how
every
many
time I
kids
read
has she
something like
killed?
this, yeah, every time I read something like this, it makes me think, I kind of think this is real. Like when I first saw Escape Room and Escape Room Tournament of Champions, the Minos Corporation, them crazy rich people who like want to watch like modern day gladiator matches, so they have people fight like to the death and then solve all these puzzles for their movement. I'm like, now I kind of think this is real.
Yeah, it definitely seems like something that could be possible out there, you know? Like,
and if it is,
how
I
would
feel
we
very
know?
Men in Blackly about it. I don't want to be part. I don't want no part.
If there's a monster, don't tell me about it. Like, it's fine. I'm not trying to get killed by these scary white mask people, you know?
First of all, not only do I not want to know, I don't want to know anything. Straight up, I don't want to know, and I don't want to see. I'd rather just die. I'd rather just die. Like how, you know how I said if the Terminator happens, like I just want to die. I want to die in the first wave because my will to live is too strong, and I don't want to be trying to outrun some machines.
Exactly.
I don't
put me in
an
an end of world situation, first of all, ever.
I want to die in the first wave of the apocalypse.
Exactly.
Because like I think zombies could be curable. I might want to live through zombies, but I hate even the idea of that because then there ain't gonna be no showers, no bathing, no toothpaste, no food. I like modern conveniences too much. I know I could survive, but I don't want to. And
I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, if there's the end of the world situation, and I have to walk around with greasy ass hair for a while, I just don't want to do it, you know?
Hair.
I have to shower in like the river or like
the wrong parts. Because I was thinking, like, what if the deodorant factory gets blown up by zombies?
See that and too. Then, like, you're gonna be walking around.
What if zombies got super smell like in I Am Legend? You know, so. What if you smell like Secret because you can't take the scent of your own body and they're like, something don't smell like dead bodies. Something smell like Secret. It's like barbecue sauce to me. No.
Exactly.
And that's how I think the monsters are in this. They're like, you have nightmares? Delicious.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, back to that. Volume 3 it moved really quickly because it was just the finishing of that saga, like you said, of the Archer's Peak saga. So what happens is like they come to kill everybody. But
they don't.
Yeah, at the same time, what's his name? The other police guy who ran away with Beyond, he's at his parents' house because he's terrible at hiding. In the woods. Yeah. So obviously Erica finds him pretty quick, finds Beyond pretty quick. But also Cecilia finds him pretty quick. So
she's like, hey, she's like, Beyond, I need your help with something. I'm like, okay. Aaron told her that they need to do some kind of ritual. And I was like, ritual? That was like in volume 2, and then he, got immediately mauled to death by monsters and eaten. How you get one good swing in? Not even one good swing. Like you raise your weapon and they bite your arm off. That kind of pisses me off.
Yeah, especially considering what we know about the Black Masks in general in volume 4. You know, like how you only one swing on these guys.
Erica told us he couldn't fight.
She did say, he's not that great, but he has a good heart.
Yeah. So obviously, Aaron said they do this ritual and Erica's like, okay, I'm going to show you something. So she's like, okay, there's a monster in my octopus and he protects me from monsters. And then so she's like, James, I need you to do this. And I like Beyond, I need you to visualize. Like she puts him on their back. She's like doing yoga to him. She's like, okay, I need you to visualize this monster. I need you to think about every bad thing you've ever thought. Some other crap like that. And then you find out that the reason why James survived that mauling and this decapitation and everything of his friends is because it's James's monster. It's like the monster came from his imagination and it needs him to sustain itself. So that's why he's been saved. I don't know why Beyond is still alive.
I think Beyond, I think made the children, I think is what she did.
I think so because I don't know. And
that's why the children didn't kill her.
The House of Slaughter, they killed the other monsters. And she trapped the last one. So that's where we are with that.
House of Slaughter killed one of them, but then she trapped the other two and killed them herself. Erica did. Because Erica's that bitch, It took a whole House of Slaughter to kill one, but she killed 2 on her own. She only got bit on the arm. That's it. Bad bitch right there.
No, I'm sorry. There were 5, so she killed more than 2.
Yeah, she killed one at the beginning, and I can't remember how.
She killed the mom.
Well, she killed the mom, but then she killed a baby at the beginning of volume 3. But I don't remember how she did that. Because remember, they ran to the car, and then one of them was there.
Like 4.
Yeah, she killed 4 on her own. Well, House of
Period.
Slaughter killed one, and it's not a small group of people. There's like 30, 40 of them. Like
they didn't send like 40 people to kill up this town, and they had no plans to kill Erica Slaughter, but they were like, just send her home, and she was like, I'm not going home. So she's on the lam for.
Yeah, old dragon or whatever his name was like, nah, bring her back to me. And I'm like, I would kill her if she's doing what you don't want her to do. Why are you going to let her live? You know.
I think they didn't put too much time and training into Erica. And we find out in volume 4 that he likes her. Not in a creepy way, but he enjoys. No, I'm saying it badly.
He thinks that she's a good recruit and that she's different than everybody. So he likes having her there. Yeah. But yeah, so volume 3 wrapped up pretty quick. They kill the monsters and then she literally just leaves town. That's kind of how it wraps up.
Well, no, actually, because the House of Slaughter is still gonna kill everybody. And Tommy, the Applebee's brother, he says no. He's like, monsters didn't kill anybody, and nobody saw anything. I am a murderer. I killed all those kids. I did XYZ. He just starts confessing, and then he's like, right, sheriff, right, town. Everybody knows that I'm the killer, and they're like, yep, you are. He goes to jail forever and ever. Not only is his mom burying his sister, she sent her son away forever. Like this woman has lost the most out of everybody, and they try to find Beyond's parents. But Beyond said that like her parents disappeared, like because her and her sister went to that sleepover together where all the other girls came from. Yeah, so her parents just split. Yep. They were like, well, the kids are gone. Bye.
Yeah, that's the most important part. How did I forget about that? House of Slaughter still wanting to kill everybody, so he confesses to take all the blame. That is insane. And I love how the whole town is just like, oh yeah, no. If we're gonna die, yeah, he did it. You know, like I don't know him.
Personally, I think that was incredibly noble of him. I wouldn't have did that though. I would have started blaming the deputy who was already dead.
Right. I mean, I guess they didn't know he was dead at that time. But still, they could have, you know.
The way I would have been like, he killed them kids. He was some kind of pervert. He was chainsawing him. I would have threw him under the wheels of the bus. He dead. He don't need his life. I need mine. Even if I'm not doing anything with it other than getting drunk and working at Applebee's and being sad.
But then also, like, a House of Slaughter is a pretty intense group of people, so I don't understand why they still let them live, because honestly, Cecilia likes to kill people by the looks of it, so I'm surprised she didn't just kill everybody anyway.
She wasn't that bad, but she dedefinitely does have the look of a murderer. Something in her eyes says, killer. Same
Not just hers
Jessica.
either.
All of them, because they all look scary. When they were in that board meeting at the end of what volume was that? Volume 1 where she stabbed Tommy in the face and then was like, "You can see monsters."
Yeah,
Alakazam. Yeah. When the whole boardroom looked up the House of Slaughter and they all had them glowing eyes, and I was like, so this is a scary people organization.
I know, you're right. Terrifying. It makes you realize that Alex wasn't that bad of a guy after all, especially when we get to volume 4, because volume 3 just ended like that. So homeboy's in jail. Erica leaves town because she did what she needed to do. Like there's nothing else to do.
And she's on the train, and guess who's there?
James, the little boy, the main character of the first 2 volumes.
Yeah. So James is there, and he's like, "So how'd you get into this monster hunting thing?" And she's like, "Oh, we need to go back." He's like, "No, I'm going to go see my mom. I'm not like following you." And she's like, "Oh, okay." Well, back in the day, so then we get into Erica's origin story, and I want y'all all to know supremely that it is terrifying.
This is when it kicks off again. Like, if it wasn't bad enough at first, it's kicking off again.
Like, literally, we open up with the death of another child because, as you may remember, something is killing the children. Like, also, this all happens within a week. Volume 3 is like 1 week.
Yeah, volume 1, 2, and 3. It's only like a few days. I don't even think it's a full week. Like 5 days at most, I feel like. Like, it happens quick. So
I know some of this stuff happens like a week later. Like that's when she's talking to James.
Right.
Yeah. So for that purpose, and literally when we open, there's Erica Slaughter as a young girl. She's 12. She's covered in blood, hand like a couple inches away from a knife. She's staring at a dead body.
It's her best friend, isn't it? Or is it her
Becca? Becca. I'm not sure if it was her mom. I think her mom had darker hair. It's either her mom or her best friend, Becca. Her and Becca were having a slumber party. And the monster got Becca first, and then it killed her dad, and then her mom came in. But her mom, like it snuck up on her dad. Her mom couldn't see anything. Like, and Erica was hiding in the closet. Like,
well, specifically, they walked in because Becca and Erica were home alone, and then they come home and they're like, "Who wants pizza?" And then they see like dead Becca on the floor, and then all of a sudden the monster gets mom and dad too.
It got dad first. Mom
Oof.
didn't even have. Mom couldn't even see it coming.
She had a chance to scream, and that's it. Because this monster moved quick. Like
She was like, Erica.
it's an obscura type or whatever that was called. It's the same one from the first one, basically, but more powerful, I
Let
guess.
me tell y'all. This is a big old monster, and so Erica gets picked up by Erica fought that thing like a wildcat. Like she literally had it almost dead by the time Jessica Slaughter comes to rescue her.
She stabbed that bitch in one of his 15 eyes. Like she was not.
This is a 12-year-old girl, and
Yes.
when I tell you, she's giving this grown monster the business. Like she's like, I'm gonna fight this thing with everything inside of me. And then they do the same ritual that she did with Beyond and James. And she's like, you have like a stuffed animal? What's his name? Did he protect you? And she's like, yeah. And his name's Octo.
Yeah, that's Jessica. Because Jessica walks in confused. She walks in ready to fight, but then gets more confused that this 12-year-old is winning, which that would have thrown me off too. You know what I mean?
She's like, oh, I really thought she was gonna be dead.
Anyway,
she really thought, she was like, this is gonna be easy. They already did. I know they already did.
Exactly. She walked in ready to just kill it and move on, but then she's like, whoa. What is happening over there? But yeah, so she summons the monster spirit or whatever and puts it in Octo, the octopus, her little stuffed animal.
And then she puts Octo in a Tupperware.
That was hilarious. She goes, he's about to be making a lot of noise. He's a little angry right now. So you got some Tupperware we can put him in or something?
She's like, oh, it is going to be real hot. So yeah, so she put him in some Tupperware. And so she's calling Cecilia because Cecilia is like her ace. They're from the same house, the same lineage in the House of Slaughter. And she's like, hey, I'm trying to bring this girl in. And Cecilia's like, no. And she's like, no, you can't do that. She's like, no, I'll take all the blame. It'll be fine. So she drives her home to the House of Slaughter with this stuffed animal in a Tupperware. They started introducing her to like the other people. Like she goes in to meet Cecilia, and Cecilia's like, you shouldn't have brought her. We don't recruit like this. And Aaron, and you see Aaron Slaughter as a young boy. I didn't even recognize that it was the same guy because I don't know. He looked like in the Wayne Family Adventures how they draw Damian Wayne, like that same level of non-threatening cutie pie-ness, because he was a little cutie pie. And they established that Aaron has always been a jerk. Aaron's got like anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is when it starts getting really interesting.
He's getting bullied by the people from Cecilia's lineage. So it's like you getting picked on by your cousins every day.
Yeah, because we learn a little bit about the House of Slaughter at this point. Like there's two different factions within this house, and one of them is the white mask and then the black mask. And we learn that the white masks are just assholes. And Cecilia is the leader of the white masks. And then we learn that there's no black mask except Aaron. So we're like, at that point, you're really.
And Jessica.
And Jessica, she's the leader of them. But it's like, I don't know. It's so interesting how they did this. I thought
the most interesting part is that Erica has had this villain look since she was a child. Like she had these giant, like haunted eyes, and I'm like, villain.
Well, you learn that she's also kind of always been an anxious kid and kind of a little bit of an asshole, rebellious child, you know? And
like she meets Aaron, he talks slick to her and she kicks him in the balls because
it's so funny because this is like kind of outside of a principal's office type of scene because they're sitting outside of the fucking the old dragon's office. And then they all he screams because he's in pain and they all walk out. It's so good. Like it's so funny.
And they're like, oh, anytime you're in the House of Slaughter, you need to cover your face. And I was like, what's the purpose? They don't explain any of this stuff. They're just like, this is how it is. And so you're sitting there like,
unless you're in your little common room type of thing, you need to be wearing a mask so people don't see your face. And I'm like, why?
And then they go into their room, right? And Jessica's like, okay, tomorrow, so you're gonna take this trial because the old dragon said you had to. That's unfortunate. And then she introduces her to her trainer, her hero, basically functionally her mom, Adelaide Slaughter or Ada Slaughter, is this haunted looking old black lady in a wheelchair. And when I tell you this woman looks like she has been driven out of her mind.
Yeah.
And she's like, back in the day, she was unstoppable. Ada Slaughter, like the unstoppable Ada Slaughter, she was my hero. I'll tell you some of the good stories sometime. And then Erica with her giant haunted eyes, it's like she's crying. Jessica's like, yeah, they're not all good stories. And then she's whispering, she's like, I promise I won't let anything bad happen to her, like to Adelaide. But she's sitting there like, yeah, they're not all good stories. Like, girl, you
this
can't
whole
just say
thing
that.
is so haunted to be or not watching, but reading. Like there's so much deep levels to it that you don't know about because they don't explain it. So it just leaves you wondering this whole time.
And they talk about how the House of Slaughter is descended from the Order of St. George, the Dragon Slayer. Well, I guess St. Michael and St. George. So they have like two factions that way. And then they have different houses that have different white and black masks all around the world. They explain some of the lore, but it really doesn't matter because I'm just trying to figure out what this trial is at this point. And so the very next morning, Jessica drives Erica out to this farm, which is already a red flag.
The night before, though, Aaron tells her, like, okay, you're going to see some crazy shit tomorrow. Just know that it feeds on your fear.
It's not real.
But some of it is real. He even says that. I was like, bro, what are they about to do to this girl? Like, she's 12.
Oh, wait, and before that, like, they put... She wants to just throw this little octopus away, but Jessica puts it on the mantelpiece with these other stuffed animals. And hers, Jessica's is a rabbit. Aaron has a little owl, and his name is Hootie, which I thought was cute.
Yeah.
And Adelaide had a dog named Wuppy Puppy, and I was like,
I like how all of them have like these really cute names. You know, they're familiars, is what they call them.
Octo, Thumper.
Oh. And we established at this point too that it's kind of almost unheard of to be a quote unquote adopted into the House of Slaughter. Like you're just kind of born and raised.
No, they're not. They not born and raised. You get recruited.
Yeah, they find them in.
She was like to find somebody organically who's like killed a monster, and their familiar became theirs like that. Like
they find people in they watch all the foster homes or something like that, and they find somebody that meets the qualities of a monster hunter, and that's how they recruit them.
Like train them like with etiquette and all this other weird protocol. I don't know. At this point, really, I was just focused on the trial thing. I had to go back and read this because I was like, what is this trial? So can we go to the farm now?
Yeah, so now we're going to the farm. Sorry, I thought that was important to say. But yeah.
It actually was. So they drive her out to this farm, which, like I said, red flag, because why are you trying to take me out into the middle of nowhere? And I was
this funky looking man too. Like he looked like fun, but he looks like he stinks, you know?
He didn't look like he stank. He just looked like he smelled like horse.
He looked like he smelled like BO all the time. But also this house is really nice. Like it is massive.
His barn and his house and like everything. It was cool. Don't get me wrong, but it was cool for what it was. But what it was something that made me mad because they drive her out to this farm and they take her out to this barn, and then this man starts doing the ritual. He throws that little octopus down, and he's like, "Okay, so y'all are gonna have to." He was like.
Hold on, you didn't even say how scary this was because she walks into a pitch black barn, like can't see anything.
Wait. Not only that, the man is like, oh, it'll be different when I get in the barn. So she meets this man and then leaves. And then she gets in this barn and here he is, this pitch black barn lit by candlelight, which is where 88% of satanic rituals occur.
And there's an altar, and this is in the very back of the barn. So like you can't even see the light outside. This is how dark this thing is. Like, and
they're like, okay, do you have a totem? What's your name? She's like, I don't got no name. And he's like, do you have a totem? Yeah. What's his name? It's Octo. So you can't say that you have a name, but your totem has a name. And then not only do you have to go into this pitch black, scary barn lit by candlelight in the middle of a circle with the altar and that scary monster in that non-threatening stuffed animal, you do all those things and then relive all of your trauma. And it just keeps happening and then it doesn't happen the way that it's supposed to.
Yeah, he's like, lay down on the altar, blah, 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 does some weird magic-y shit. And then he takes the monster's soul, spirit, or whatever out of Octo and then puts it into Erica's mind.
And then he's like, oh, the monster lives inside the stuffed animal and it determines if you're worthy of protection. Now, meanwhile, this monster is like a full-fledged, obscure, zabbledy-gop, zip-zop-dop.
It's a big, scary bitch is what it is.
And it's not supposed to be that big. And so this man comes out of the barn and he's like, you should have warned me. I thought it was going to be like half-formed little apparition. Like, because apparently that's what they do for the recruits. They get like a little wimpy half-formed monster and then it's supposed to grow and train with you. Like something that you can overpower. It's a full-blown monster. And he's like, it's going to eat that girl. And that's going to be on us.
Everybody's sitting there like, even Cecilia shows up and she's like, oh, that's going to kill her. Aaron's like, yeah, she's dead.
Crying.
Jessica's day drinking because she's like, I just killed this little girl. It's insane. So like inside Jessica's mind though, it's like what you said, like she's reliving the trauma of the night that the monster killed everybody, except things are different. So it's like it's trying to trick her. It's to why is it trying to trick her? Is it like to get free?
It's trying to get her to reveal information and trying to like it's trying to weaken her mind. And she's like, nope, you can't kill me.
Right. So it can kill her on the inside. The thing that really trips
me out is that when I think, what is this like? Yeah, issue number 4. When issue number 4 opens, it's to Aaron being bullied. Like, and Cecilia, the kids from Cecilia's lineage, they're not just regular bullying him. They're like, you're worthless, you're worthless, you're worthless. But he wakes up with a knife in his face. And then Cecilia's like, boy, get up. We going to this farm. And he's like, what? And then she's like, yeah, by the time we get there, she'll either be alive and she'll need you, or she'll be dead and Jessica will need you. So we need to go.
She said because you're going to help clean up if she's dead. Like, what? Because this is now his adopted sister. So can you imagine all this happened in a day? Like, it is a lot. Aaron is going through it.
And, okay, and then by the time we see this, we get back into Erica's mind and we see this monster. It is a giant octopus. Like, it is. There's no other way to describe it. Like, you see its spirit. And then she's fighting this thing in her mind because she gets out of the house and she's like, this isn't how it happened. You're trying to get me. And he's like, yes. And literally the giant octopus is on top of her house. It is giant. Mm-hmm. And then it starts trying to terrorize her. It's like, just because it's not real doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Don't you want to save your mom? Don't you want to save Becky? Go get help. You can still save them. It's trying to get her to run away. And she's like, no. My mom can't be saved because she's dead, because you killed her and you ate her. Yeah. And then we beat you. She's like, I stabbed you in the eye. And she has to go back. She's gotten out of the house at this point. And she has to go back into the scene and be where she was when Jessica came.
And relives the whole thing. It is insane. And she's only 12. Like, that is a lot for a 12-year-old to be going through, right? Like, it is insane. But it works because she knows it's all mind games. So she's like, she just kind of wakes up. Nothing happened to her because she realized way early that this was just mind games. And she's like, she walks back to the house and she goes, okay, what's next? Everybody's like in tears. They're all drinking because they thought this bitch was going to die.
Wait, no, that's not it. Like, we have to talk about what she says to the monster, because I pulled it up the show. And she's like, okay, that's how it happened. And she's like, and then it was over. That's how it happened. And then she's her regular self and not herself covered in blood. And she's like, do you know what happens next? And the monster says, no. Can we just call it the Octo Monster?
Yeah, just go with that. Yeah.
And then she's like, you killed my mom and dad and Becca. Do you feel sorry? He said no.
Right. I mean, he's a monster.
No.
Like, he's a monster, why would he feel bad?
But she's like, yeah, okay. Guess we wake up then.
Yeah, and then after that, everybody's ready to have a party. They're like, all right, you made it. Let's go eat some steaks.
No, they're not. Because after that, she comes to in the middle of this, like, first of all, in the dark barn, lit by candlelight, in the middle of the circle, because it's what traps the monster. This doll is right on top of her chest. And she's like, hello. And then he says, they thought you were going to die, so they left you. And she's, well, I didn't. And then it's like the last issue where they're literally mourning her. They're smoking, they're drinking. Cecilia comes and she's like, I can't believe you're out here day drinking. And she's like, I just wanted to be here when things went sideways. And she's like, I don't want to say she's talking down to her, but she's like chastising her. And then she's like,
yeah.
Oh my God, she's alive.
Yeah. So then they go to have that little party with the steaks and everything. Because they're like, she made it. Yay. And everyone's like so happy except Cecilia. Even Cecilia, no. She even said like kind words.
Congratulations. Like, she gave her a handshake and she was like, wow. Because they didn't think she had it in her.
I know. And it's such a good moment too. But then after that, she has to get a tattoo to say she's in the, what do they call it? The Order of St. George? Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
The Order of St. George is just basically like an umbrella group that has monster killers all over the world, and the House of Slaughter is just one of those that works for the St. George, the Order of St. George.
And then you have to pass a bunch of tests, and then you get that creepy tattoo on the side of your head where they inject you with like
Monster CN serum or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know.
Truly, I don't know. And then you become a supervillain like the rest of them.
And then you get a mask with teeth after you kill your first monster.
No, you get the mask with teeth first, and then you get the light injection monster serum, and then there's too many and then she meets the great dragon, and the great dragon is like, the old dragon, and he's like, you're the coolest kid. I have high hopes for you. Don't disappoint me.
The great dragon is creepy, by the way.
Like, they're all creepy.
Yeah, but his mouth his mask moves with his mouth, or like I don't
Like
even know. It's
the
weird.
mouth is part of the mask, and it's very creepy.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But we'll also learn more about the House of Slaughter at this point, like the Order of St. George, rather. Like there's a bunch of different like subcategories with the mask and everything. There's more than just the black and white mask. There's like a blue one, like a green one, and then I think just silver and black. I think it's just those four, right?
They have a lot going on, but
each one is responsible for different parts. Is the point? Like the black mask is supposed to hunt alone.
Some of them handle, which is stupid because I need at least a partner because I ain't hunting no monster by myself. But we just want to stress to you more than anything, something is killing the children, because what in like the fact that volume 4 really opened with another child being torn in half. What can you say to that?
I know, and that's kind of just how volume 4 ends too, with her talking to the old dragon or whatever, and then he walks away, and
her
then
hugging Jessica.
Yeah, and then Jessica comes back.
Like, oh, we're having a party.
Yeah, she's like, he might be a little bit creepy. We don't always like him, but he has a good heart. And I was like, no, get that man away from me. He's terrifying.
That man looks even more villainous than Erica does.
Yes, that man does not look like a good dude. But that's how it
looks like he has a grill on the outside. This is what this mask looks like. Like he has a grill on the outside of his face.
But it's like a dragon mask with like fangs and shit, so it's intense.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
If you've ever seen the Chronicles of Riddick, it looks like it wouldn't be out of place there.
Yeah, yeah, you're right about that.
It's terrifying for no reason. It looks like this for why? We don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. This was obviously the start of a new trilogy, which I think is going to be really good because these are really good stories in such a weird way. Like I normally wouldn't like a story like this, but this one is so well written and it's just good, you know?
Yeah, we might actually have to do an episode for House of Slaughter because they do have a spinoff that's about the House of Slaughter and the Order of St. George. So I might have to check that out. I'm gonna have to do an episode on that.
Yeah, and we also learned that they're making a show about this.
Now listen, maybe because forget for 1 second that I'm Black. I think I could be a good Erica Slaughter. That was a lie. I have
too much action.
I'm not exactly.
I don't know. Normally I would be like, why are you making a show about this? But it's going to be made by Tracy and Mike Flanagan, which is a pretty good horror team. So I feel like this might actually be good.
Oh, what have they done?
They've done like, did you watch that new show that was like number 1 on Netflix for a while? It was called Midnight Mass.
Oh, no, but that was the one. You know how that thing about people, how I think people who want to have sex with priests are nasty? That was one of those ones where I was like, y'all nasty, 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 tomato, tomato, tomato.
Well, they even did like, what else did they do? They did like The Haunting of House Hill was another one that they did together, which was a good one.
I watched that.
Oh, Hill House. Yeah, they did that one.
That was that creepy looking little girl who you told me was in You. She was the bent neck lady. That scared me.
Oh man, I can't remember what else they've done. They
probably did The Haunting of Bly Manor too if they did that.
Yeah, I think that was one of them that they've done together. Like they're a really good horror team. So this might actually be very good.
You know the brother Luke, the crackhead brother in Haunting of Hill House, the really fine one?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how he's the one girl's villainous fiance who killed her in The Haunting of Bly Manor. I only watched a couple episodes, but apparently, you know how that crazy girl from You she was like a lesbian in Haunting of Bly Manor from what I saw.
Yeah.
Apparently, and she was in love with the gardener. Apparently, Luke was supposed to play that role instead of the villainous fiance, but him and her were like, we played twins in the last thing, so that's weird. That's gonna be weird to the audience. And I was like, good. I'm glad they understood that.
Yeah, I'm glad that they did that too. Yeah.
I've already sat through Game of Thrones. I don't need any more incest.
I don't know. I do like these stories a lot, and I can't wait for more to come out because we will have to definitely read them.
Listen, maybe I was about to say maybe I'll get on the show. No, I won't. I don't have the stamina for that. I don't have my knees. They don't be kneeing like
not the same knees they used to be.
That's the different knees. So I guess that's all for this week's episode of True Believers.
Yeah, thank you for all your support, and we'll see you next week when we read Excellence by Brandon Thomas, Kari Randolph, and Amelia Lopez.
Yes, and we are available on all major streaming platforms. And if you really like the show, please leave us a review and continue sharing with your friends. We really appreciate it. And as always, if you want to leave us a suggestion on what we read or watch, you can find DM us on social media, email us, leave us a voicemail at 650-761-2629, or join our Discord.
Thanks, bye everyone.
Bye.